Do your kids learn isiZulu or Sepedi because you want us to celebrate diversity?
Yeah, my wife speaks Sepedi, but it seems like Panya's Lesufi does not want his children to hear Afrikaans. They want to destroy our schools, and we will not take that lying down.
What countries are you referring to so that we can make...
Is the torturing of Afrikaners on a farm with a blowtorch, with an iron, with hot water, is that not a real human rights abuse?
No,
that's what you are saying.
No, actually, it is not a human rights abuse against Afrikaner. It's a crime problem that many South Africans are facing right now.
I can give you the statistics.
But I'm saying
people were tortured in the last. This is denialism by the police minister. He's lying. We have names of farmers that were killed.
Yeah, but there are more farm workers that get killed than the farmers, Kali. That's what research has shown. In fact, your own spokesperson...
What research?
That's what
research?
The statistics show that. In fact, your own spokesperson...
What statistics? Tell me what.
I'm telling you about the statistics from the SAP.
So finally, guys, on this series, I think it was so interesting for me to really walk through the comments, to really think about how South Africans are beginning to see all of these difficulties, you know, and you could see the anger in the studio here, the studio almost exploding, where Kali tells Clement that he's ill-informed. Clement says that Afriforum is carrying out a really total misinformation campaign against South Africa. You know, Kali says that, you know, that's the problem with the arguments of Clement and probably SABC on trying to silence the Afrikaners and Afrikaner community in Afriforum, and Afriforum won't take it that way. Clement actually responds and says that, you know, the debate or probably the statistics on farm numbers by Afriforum is not correct. Afriforum says that it's correct. My goodness, man. But anyway, I came across some really interesting comments, and I thought that, you know, for me, it's really important to really understand how people are really thinking about these whole issues. So this is actually seems to be, for me, a black person anyway, this name. But it says that Clement should be ashamed of himself as a journalist. This is not journalism, but he became activists for ANC propaganda. He is not investigating like a journalist do, but naively believes that USAID were caught because of Afriforum. I am a black person, South Africa, and for me this is really important when black South Africans really make these kinds of comments, because it really brings some kind of criticality to the debate of redress and all of that for apartheid in South Africa. So he says, I'm a black person, South African, and I'm also disgusted by his behavior. When he was talking to Afriforum CEO, USAID were caught because South Africa undermined US interests, like taking Israel to the ICJ, siding with leaders that are seen as a threat to America's safety, like Russia, Iran, etc. SA aligning itself with these problematic leaders. Definitely, we should not be shocked why foreign aid is cut. This land appropriation issues was the final nail to the coffin that made the USA to be like ANC government is crazy and not seeing anything wrong with that. What they are doing, they need to be stopped. So another guy under this comment says, well said, sir. This other guy also sounds, has a African name to me anyway, I don't know. But anyway, it says journalists are now political activists who wants to brainwash the public to believe the incapable, ineffective, and inefficient government. These journalists are just government puppets now. It has one like. Then there's a really interesting thread that actually speaks on the other side. It says, you've got to love Clement. Give this man a raise. Another one says, this is crazy and evil. Another one then says, Ramaphosa apparently refused to meet with Afriforum, so they went to those who listened to them. The problem is our country's decisions are made by Iran, and now we are in this mess by doing their dirty work of taking Israel to the ICJ. Iran, it's ANC's downfall. So I think this is also a black person. I don't know who's that, Ramapoko or something, but anyway, that's that. But anyway, this actually also these were really strong comments for me also. I think this also would be someone from the white South African community, if I could say that. But the person says, don't try to blame Afriforum. It is because of Ramaphosa's issues. Fake news. You're a disgrace as a news channel. Rather, see Ramaphosa's article against Israel and keep going against U.S. national interest. Blaming Afriforum, you disgust me. Somebody then says, another person says, the health system itself is in ICU. There's no way the gap will be plugged. The death of millions is inevitable. Then the same person who was blasting the blame on Afriforum then says, PEPFAR was a free handout and supposed to be temporary to assist for 5 years. The US paid it for 22 years out of their taxpayers' money. What did the ANC do to get their house in order to care for its own citizens? Nothing. Only looting our country clean. And the ANC keeps going against US interests. Ramaphosa keeps poking the bear. Why should US citizens pay for our problems? So you see, it's really interesting when you really listen to South Africans and how they really articulate some of these issues. There's somebody also, I think this sounds Ghanaian, Asante. It says, stop this nonsense. South Africa is a big and powerful country, and you all are busy shaking at the knees because Trump has cut aid. You shouldn't need aid. Trump is only willing to talk to white South Africans. He has no time for black people, even in his own country. Get over it. Then another guy then tries to counter his argument saying, because his argument said that South Africa is a big country. Now this guy says, what big country? Don't overestimate the capabilities of our country. We are on our own knees, short of crawling on our stomachs. All right. So, really interesting comments. And this is the second to the last. It says, the comment says, discrimination targeting Afrikaners is on display on the world stage. Congratulations, SABC. People reply that person saying, shut up. Some other guy said, what discrimination? I saw a relevant dialogue. Another one then counters and says, what relevant dialogue? Because in that conversation, it felt like Clement was purposely trying to crucify Afriforum. Disrespectful. Sorry, I'm also a black South African, but I don't support this foolish thinking of being victims, blaming people instead of holding ANC accountable for the mess we find ourselves in. And this reply was to the guy who actually said that he didn't see a discrimination in this conversation I'll be playing soon, but all he saw was a relevant dialogue. Yeah, but anyway, let's quickly listen to this really heated argument between SABC and Afriforum as they try to really make sense of the whole thing with Bella Act, attack on Afrikaner community and culture in South Africa, the US visit of Afriforum, and then also the problem of the fact that, you know, there's a portion of South Africa that says Afriforum is committing treason against South Africa, and another part of the population that says Afriforum is fighting for the majority of South Africans. And share your thoughts in the comments.
Well, what is the diversity, Kali, when your kids, for instance, are not even learning any of the indigenous languages? Do your kids learn isiZulu or Sepedi because you want us to celebrate diversity? That is what diversity is.
Yeah, my wife speaks Sepedi. She had it until third year at university.
Do your kids?
Unfortunately, in the new dispensation, there was a change with those subjects being taken away. Our proposal, when we negotiated with the ANC, was to say make free African languages or 3 official languages compulsory at schools. Those were the kind of proposals that we brought to the table. Unfortunately, the president simply ignored us and decided.
Are you prepared to have your kids? Are you prepared to have your kids learn Sepedi or isiZulu or Shitswana?
Of course, that is why we made the proposal that we want compulsory languages to be taught in schools. But it seems like Lesufi does not want his children to hear Afrikaans, and that is the real problem. They want to destroy our schools, and we will not take that lying down. So we have self-respect. If the president disrespects our cultural existence, we will not stand for it.
You have asked the U.S. to pressure our government to change its foreign policies. Do you not understand the principle of sovereignty? I mean, who tells the U.S. what their foreign policy should be? And if we can't do that, and we've got to respect their sovereignty, what gives them the right to want to interfere in our policies, more so our foreign policy?
The fact is the U.S. does not interfere in South Africa. It's the U.S.'s money. It's the U.S. that gave money for PEPFAR. It's the U.S. that allows us to be part of AGOA, and they can do with their money what they want. If we are seeing, well, okay, disrespect for property rights will make them decide not to give us the money, then we have an obligation to tell our government, listen, you are putting the future of our people and our country at jeopardy. Rethink that. And then with regard to human rights violations, no country can hide behind the argument of sovereignty when there is human rights violations. South Africa itself has been very vocal with regard to what is happening in other countries at the moment. So why can nobody say
that's because
it's not funny?
Yeah, and that's because those are real human. Yeah, that's because those are real human rights. What countries are you referring to, so that we can make?
Is the torturing of Afrikaners on a farm with a blowtorch, with an iron, with hot water? Is that not a real human rights abuse?
No,
that's what you are saying.
No, actually, it is not a human rights abuse against Afrikaner. It's a crime problem that many South Africans are facing. In fact,
people steal the word from the farmer.
That's
not saying that.
Do you know that
saying a word?
Do you know that according to the SABC statistics, only one farmer was actually killed in the last quarter?
And
you know that according to the statistics, one second, you'll come back now.
I can give you the statistics.
But I'm saying
people were tortured in the last, this is denialism by the police minister, he's lying. We have names of farmers that were killed.
Yeah, but there are more farm workers that get killed than the farmers, Kali. That's what research has shown. In fact, your own spokesperson.
What research? What research?
The statistics show that. In fact, your own spokesperson.
What statistics? Tell me what.
I'm telling you about the statistics from the SABC. No, there are farm murders are not about white farmers. When you talk about rural crime, we're talking about people who get killed are farm owners who are black and white. People who get killed are farm workers too. And according to the police statistics, there are more farm workers that were killed, in fact, in the last quarter than the farm owners themselves. And all those crimes are brutal.
Well, I'm telling you, you can come to our office. I'll ask our people that keep record to give you the names. And the fact is, nobody is saying that any other farmer should be killed. So it's a tragedy. Our campaign is also to safeguard black farmers.
Yeah, is it, Kali? Come on, Kali, you just said now that there's a human right violation against the Afrikaner farmers because they get killed in a brutal way. That is misinformation, because you're creating the impression that it's the white farmers that are under attack. And I'm saying to you that that is false. Even Connie Mulder, hold on one second. Connie Mulder, I'll give you a chance. We spoke to Connie Mulder yesterday. Connie Mulder himself admits that in fact the problem is the rural crimes. You are trying to create an impression that white people who work in farms, who are farm owners, are the ones that are being attacked, when in fact you are not caring about the workers. You are not caring about the workers who are brutally murdered themselves, because when you are there in the US, you don't say, when you're in the US, you don't talk about farm workers black and white.
No, you are ill-informed. If you look at our safety structures, we have 177 of them. Those safety structures have gone to the defense of black farmers. One of our patrollers was shot and killed while defending a black farmer. So you are peddling these lies. You are showing disrespect. You are trying to say it's fine if people say kill the boer, kill the farmer.
Who said
that?
And
saying, well, if somebody... Well, you said we are peddling lies. It is ill-informed. There's not a real human rights violation.
No,
that you said.
I've said to you that I said you're creating misinformation by trying to create an impression that it's the white Afrikaner farmers that are being killed. That is false. You know that there are black farmers and black farm workers who are killed as well.
Where did we say that?
You said now that I asked you about the human rights violation. You said now that white Afrikaner farmers are being killed in a brutal way. That's what you're telling the US.
I never used the word white.
You did use the word white.
We've seen tortures on farms. We are seeing somebody sings kill the boer, kill the farmer. The South African courts says it's fine. All these people that are hysteric now about us having an issue with this were quiet. They say, no, it's fine.
So you accept that it's not Afrikaner farmers that are under siege here?
Not only.
Yes. So
if you say kill the boer, kill the farmer...
I'm not talking about kill the boer, kill the farm. I'm talking about the statistics that you say you also have. Do you accept that it's not the Afrikaner population or grouping that is somehow under siege here? There are black farm workers who are being killed in a brutal way as well. There are black farmers killed in a brutal way as well. And equally so, there are white farmers that are killed in a brutal way.
Yeah. The fact is, if we have a problem specifically with mentioning torture, mentioning people are singing kill the boer, kill the farmer, it doesn't mean we are in denialism of other crime. Our neighborhood watchers in towns patrol all areas, and they look after the safety of people from all communities. But the problem with your arguments, to now and try and diminish the arguments, is exactly the reason why we had to come to the US. We are tired of denialism. We are tired of the cancel culture to silence us. And that is why we will not take this lying down.
So if you're so much under siege, why are you not taking up this offer by Donald Trump, this refugee status, and move there to the US?
Because we want to remain Afrikaners, and we can only remain Afrikaners on the southern tip of Africa. And we are committed to the continent. We are committed to the people of South Africa. We are not committed to ANC leaders and their behavior. And don't equate what we are doing, don't equate ANC leaders with the country. It's two different things. And we are not going to give up on the country. We have good relations with many people. We have projects in rural communities, with traditional communities. We will continue to work with those people, but we cannot allow the president seemingly saying it's fine if somebody sings kill the boer.
When did President Cyril Ramaphosa say that it's fine that someone sings that?
I said seemingly.
Yeah, but that's wrong. And you see, that's precisely the problem, Kali, is you use words like that to the Trump administration to create this disinformation campaign, and that's where the problem is. Seemingly the president is okay with someone saying kill the boer. But you know he's not. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he said it or he seemingly says it. That is false.
If you're against disinformation, why don't you say anything about President Ramaphosa going to the US saying there are no farm murders in South Africa?
No, the president said there are no white. The president was responding to.
Please, you're not informed on this issue. I have the video clip. He said There are no farmlanders
Okay.
in South Africa.
Okay,
And
Kali.
that is disinformation. Maybe you should focus on that. That
Kali-
is a big problem.
Okay, Kali, I'm out of time. Lastly, did you ask Donald Trump to help fund an Afrikaner settlement?
No, it's again a news outlet that has now gone against us with a disinformation campaign. We've seen an orchestrated campaign by the
Okay.
left establishment, the left media establishment, lying. We said we want in areas where Afrikaners settle. There's a movement towards Pretoria as well to make sure that we can have an Afrikaans school because government wants to destroy Afrikaans schools.
All right,
That
Kali,
is what we need help for.
Kali Krell, thank you so much for making time for us.
Okay,
Kali
thank
Krell.
you, sir.